speak to Mike Larry?
Yeah, you got my phone.
Shock the system.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, in case you forgot, it is exactly Saturday, June 8th, 12:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there's only one way to ring in the afternoon on a Saturday. So to all of you that are watching on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, welcome to Season 7, Episode 16 of the phenomenon known to professional wrestling mankind as Saturday afternoon's main event. For about the 90-something episode, if you do not know who I am, dumb, stupid, blind, or just plain irrelevant, I suggest you go back to school, go into your local library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the Phenomenal One, and here on Saturday afternoon's main event, of course, I'm not joined alone, because today, this week, I have my co-host, my comrade, my brother from another mother and dimension, the one, the only, limousine riding, jet flying, woo, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, who is not having a hard time holding his alligators down. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, give me 2 claps and a peeps nage.
Woo! I give you 2 more claps. Woo!
There we
Just
go.
to make up for last week.
There we go.
There we go. We're back now. The world is normal. We're back in sync. I am here, Deep Voice Dynamo, back here with my partner once again. Another Saturday afternoon. I love the new opening. I love all of everything that's going on. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm happy that I'm back here with you and the people out there to watch our show. Thank you for joining us, and we are ready to go.
Exactly.
Woo, right. I'm good.
Hey, Peeps looks like he stuffed himself with too much mac and cheese over the last couple of days. He's happy to be back. We're happy to have him back. Still, once more, shout out to the Triple C for filling in for Peeps last week.
Yes.
But look, when you have the Phenomenal One and you have the Deep Voice Dynamo, there's nothing that feels better than a Saturday afternoon's main event where we can give you laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. Am I right, Peeps?
Yes. The 3 tenets of Saturday afternoon. There you go.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we appreciate you guys for going ahead and tuning in on wherever you're from. As I said, whether you're on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, or should I say X now, Peeps? You know what? Screw Elon Musk. I can't no more. I digress. I digress.
There you go.
I'm not doing this
First one of the, you know I wasn't on last week, but you got 4 last week. So we're at 85.
Oh, wow. Peeps actually marked them.
Yes. You got 4 last week. We got 1 already to start the show. We're at 86 right now. We're up to date. There you go. That's how you know I'm ready to go.
Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you do know, when you hear this theme, Peeps, I think you hear it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It means one thing and one thing only. It is time for
Wrestling Crash Course.
Peeps.
Oof. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. You're shaking. You're shaking. You gotta go. Let me know if you're okay. Please, let me know if you're okay.
I'm good. Let me make sure. Okay, we're good.
Okay,
yes, we're good.
This ain't like the earthquake from April, right?
Great. No, we're good.
Good stuff.
We're good.
Good stuff. At least it wasn't that room rattling. Well, look,
there
ladies and gentlemen, as it says, it is time for Wrestling Crash Course. Let's fire it up. First piece of news today. Kamille and AEW. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 7 days, we have been hearing about Kamille through social media, about how she is displeasured with the fact that she's been signed to the company since February, from what we've heard, Peeps, and that there is still no bookings for her, nothing for her to go ahead and do within the roster, just sitting at home collecting a check, and she's infuriated with it. Peeps, knowing this, and knowing that the women's division in AEW is a good women's division. It is packed to the brim with a lot of good female talent, but the only problem is always the utilization. Do we see Kamille in the next couple of months showing up on AEW television? Or is Tony Khan going to go ahead and forever keep the landscape of the women's division the way that it is, knowing that we still have to have Jamie Hayter back, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa back in, like, mid-card towards, main event scene. A bunch of women, no utilization. What's going on, peeps? What are we doing?
Well, if you're looking at what we're seeing now, if any women's division needed a can't believe I'm actually bringing up more belts in this company, but if any women's division needed women's tag team championships, it would have been AEW for just the simple fact that they have so many women. I did not realize how many women were in the AEW Ring of Honor banner. I believe it's something like 40 or 50 women wrestlers on the roster. So looking at that, the fact that they're not utilizing somebody who potentially might have gone to WWE if things had been different, you would think you'd want to placate your new talent, because we know AEW they've had Starry Eyes, and you see where I'm going with Stardom, with Starry Eyes, and they've had Mariah May, and they've had all of these talented wrestlers coming in from Stardom and bringing in the newer talent and the people that are there. We know Tony Storm is at the top of the roster. We know that Mercedes Moné is the one that is the heir apparent to the top. And like you just said, you got Jamie Hayter and all the other talent that's there. To have Kamille, who is a star, there, knowing that Julia is in WWE, and the only reason why she isn't doing anything is because she's injured. Knowing Tony Khan has all this talent, this is what people are saying, welcome to AEW, because now you're just in a company that has a lot of talent, and when they find the right storyline or the right angle, whatever is the case, to slot you in, that's when you'll find out what they will do with Kamille. Kamille should be used immediately, especially given the transitional status of what they did with Willow Nightingale as she lost that TBS championship to Mercedes Moné. Now you can throw in another opponent going forward, knowing that we have a pay-per-view at the end of the month called Forbidden Door that is in conjunction with New Japan, and start using the talent over and over and over and over and over again. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you have to start using some of this talent.
Of course, you're exactly right. Well, yes. From there, we move to the world of WWE. Braun Breaker will certainly be a chess piece in a Netflix deal for WWE Raw come 2025. We have seen the rise of Braun Breaker on the main roster. He's been doing some great stuff. Being that unhinged character within the sights of Raw, going ahead and pretty much, laying waste to Ricochet to the point where this man ends up even losing the speed title from... he lost a Twitter division title.
Yes, the actual X Division championship, if you want to call it that.
If you want to call it that, exactly.
Yes.
But I mean, peeps, Braun Breaker, of course, stellar. We know a descent of a Steiner.
Yes.
No math yet, which is great.
Yes.
But I mean, still,
it's coming.
It's coming, because you know why?
It's coming.
I think he's gonna be doing big numbers for the WWE. So, peeps,
there you go.
What are your thoughts on Braun? What do we see for the next coming months? And what do we see come 2025 from Braun Breaker?
If I could borrow from the esteemed words of the late, great Iron Sheik, he is going to break backs and make people humble. That's just the PG version. I'm not going to give you everything else. They used to come right after it. But I think we know exactly what.
Of course.
It's funny. I actually saw a meme where somebody called him Braun Goldberg, because basically that's literally what he's been doing, where he has been spearing people. The only thing he hasn't done is a jackhammer. He's gutting it. He's getting in the ring. He'll snort. He'll clothesline you. He'll hit you with the spear and walk out the room. Sounds very familiar. And you want to know something? That formula works. His intensity has been ratcheted up to 35 on a scale of 1 to 10. He has the look. Vince McMahon saw something in him when he brought him into NXT and said, well, one of the last things that Vince McMahon was able to do when he was still in charge of creative. And we saw in him what we see him now. Oh, the sky's the limit for this guy. And if they're going to use him as a bargaining chip to literally say, He's going to be a piece that we're going to use on Netflix when Raw is there. They're already using him now the right way. And he's just basically laying waste to anything in front of him. That's how you use him to get the attention that you need. And anytime he steps on in front of a camera, you have no idea what's going to happen. And they're using him perfectly.
That's true. That's true. So, peeps, world heavyweight title before 2025? Or is that just solely for next year?
I think that's next year. I don't think you want to rush it because you have so many other people right now in front of him. We still have Drew McIntyre. You got CM Punk when he's healthy. You got Seth Rollins whenever he's able to come back. You still have a lot of prominent names at the top of the card that are, as well as they should be, above him in the hierarchy of the booking right now. So there's no need to go ahead and just take your card and play it right now. Give him time. You build him up. Have him be a belt collector. Make him, he can win the IC title. He can win the US. Maybe you tease him going to SmackDown and saying, well, I'm going to take titles from there, even though I'm not even on the show. You can do a lot of things. There are different avenues that they can take to get him where you need to get him. And I think that that's what they're doing right now. They're doing a great job, and it's just about pace. Don't give them too much. Give them a little bit. Then you give them a little more. Then you ease off the gas pedal. You give it's perfect. It works.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Okay, well, we'll see. And we'll continue to be on Braun Breaker Watch. When it comes to watching things as well, I know a lot of you guys who may have cable, or since you guys have to stick to the YouTube version, you guys probably watch it on YouTube. Who Killed WCW? New 4-part series from Vice. Of course, highlighting the rise and fall of WCW in a stance. We're already off of one episode, which was a good episode, I have to say. And yes, they did ruin Sting in a sense with that whole slow count from the ref at Starrcade 97. But I digress.
There you go.
I wasn't around for it. I'm not even going to go ahead and lose my ish. But here's the thing. Peeps, what did you think of this first part of the episode? Like the first episode itself?
It's very good. It tries its best not to sound redundant in trying to recall the exact same things over and over again. But since we know that WCW's been dead for over 20 years, this story is not new. And there are very few things that are new to the story that can be told, but there are new perspectives that you may be able to hear, something coming from where it was and how it started. And the way that they did the documentary is, and it seems like, I think the theme of each of the 4 parts is that they're going to have somebody prominently talk about their reason why WCW failed with the overarching story told by Eric Bischoff. I think this week, Bischoff was the main storyteller of his idea as to why, in his perspective of why WCW died. And basically the way he explained it, he says it was really Harvey Schiller and the higher ups of WCW and Turner that did not want the show to continue and kind of handcuffed him as to what he was able to do. I think a lot of other people that were sprinkled around, Booker T talked in the segment, and Conan talked prominently in the segment. Yeah, there were a lot of really good voices and a lot of good perspectives and names that were brought up in there. Key to this one, if you remember hearing, Ric Flair complained that they didn't come to him about why they didn't get his perspective as to why it happened, and didn't ask him to have any input in the documentary. But I think they started doing this documentary probably at around the time that the whole plane ride from hell story was done. And they probably wanted to kind of distance themselves from him within that story. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I really enjoyed the angles that they used. I liked the stories that they told. Kevin Nash was also in it as well. How they tried to.
His stories were funny. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yes.
I love each and every single one of them. From from Dusty trying to get him to be, the wizard. I can be the wizard, but I can't be Oz. Oz is the location.
Yes, I am pretty sure there were a bunch of I digresses coming out of Kevin Nash when he was talking to Dusty Rhodes about this gimmick, and it was one of the dumbest gimmicks. And I definitely remember it. Welcome to Oz, and the person that played the wizard was Kevin Sullivan, wearing a mask and had a little chimpanzee on his back that probably kept peeing on him as they kept. I digress.
Let's not even forget.
I digress. There you go. There's number three. There's number three.
Good grief. We'll move on from this one because it seems like we're going to have a lot of I digresses here.
Yes, we are.
From there, let's move to the world of TNA because, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Clash of the Castle is next week. And as we've seen on TNA and NXT, anything is possible of happening within the world of the Forbidden Door. Well, there's a certain Scottish wrestler that I want to highlight that should have to be there next week in Glasgow. Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I'm not going to start singing the song.
Joe Hendry, yes. Aye, laddie. That's right.
Can you imagine just like some type of like, it would be funny if you saw a crossover between him and Drew. Just give me that for once. Or you know what?
Yes.
Instead of that, screw that. Scratch it. Give me LA Knight and Joe Hendry. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. That would be funny.
Can you imagine? Highlight of the year. Joe Hendry walks into Glasgow, going ahead and having thousands upon thousands inside the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Scotland sing his theme. Biggs, a TNA guy, getting his theme sung in a WWE show. Biggs, forget it. I'd lose it.
Apparently, the fans believe in Joe Hendry.
Who does it?
Joe Hendry, we believe in you. Yes.
We all believe in Joe Hendry. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But peeps, is this something that you're going to want to see? Is there more names that you're going to want to hope to see within the WWE ring? Probably from WWE to cross over to TNA. What are your thoughts? Because I did ask Triple C this. He did give me a couple of names. What are your thoughts? What would you want to see?
I tell you right now, outside of a full-scale invasion, because this is literally what I'm actually seeing. I think Triple H right now is trying to do what Vince fumbled with the WCW invasion. So I would not be surprised if you started seeing Josh Alexander come in, or the Rascals come in, or anybody of that nature come in at some point to interfere in matches or just to show up, and it would be done the right way. I mean, could you imagine some of the guys that are in TNA that used to work with WWE show up?
Forget that.
Think about that.
Give me Chris Bay versus Javon Evans. And I will lose my mind and will forever thank Shawn Michaels Triple H anthem. Forget it, peeps. Forget it. They can go ahead and every single executive, I will go ahead and make sure that every single executive first names are the first names of my unborn children. That is how much I will go ahead and take them. Give me Chris Bay and Javon Evans.
And that's Jay. That's there you go. That's Jay Malachi to you, my friend. Yeah. You could only imagine if he was able to use that name.
I mean, for God's, and actually have the mallet cutter as his finisher. I digress.
There you go. We told you this was going to be an active show.
Yeah, it's going to be. Pips is back, guys. You really thought the of I digress counting is not going to go ahead and allow us to have I digresses? It is going to be one of those shows.
Yes.
But okay, peeps. I kind of like the names that you're throwing out there when it comes to Knockouts division. Who we seeing? Because we did see Mickie James a good how many years ago? That's only just one off. Jordan
and they didn't do it well. They didn't do it well with Mickie James, and it was just kind of like they barely mentioned her. They have her in there. You know what would be really funny is if they got ODB to come out just on a whim to just say she was part in there and just walk up on camera, go bam, and starts beating us. I like that would be funny.
No, peeps. AJ Francis, the new digital champion. Have him go ahead and come in and go, invasion angle. Just invasion angle. Flat out. Take over the ring. Y'all fired me and look at me. I'm doing good somewhere else. Thank God y'all work with him because I can come here whenever the hell peeps.
I'll tell you who the real high flyer is.
Hits the top rope again.
There you go.
I'd rather not. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of Wrestling Crash Course. And that marks the end of the first half of Same. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and get into our questions. And then, of course, the first and only last topic for today, our predictions for tomorrow's NXT Battleground that will be taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada at the UFC Apex. So stay tuned. do not go anywhere because the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event is coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event. I'm a phenomenal one. Alongside me is the Peeps Nate. We're here to give you laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. So with that being said,
the three tenets of Saturday afternoon. There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, okay, guys, of course, you know, if you guys want to send in questions, all you have to do is one thing and one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday afternoons _ main event. Send in a question, and in the words of the wrestling god, WWE Hall of Famer JBL, I guarantee it will be on the next episode of the show. With that being said, let's go ahead and take care of the first question today, coming from our good friend Master Sean 007. He says, "Greetings, gentlemen. I wanted to hear your opinions on what you think caused the fall of WCW and is AEW following a similar trajectory." This is gonna go ahead and be eye-opening, right, peeps? Oh, gosh.
Yes, it will be.
Oh gosh. Look, here's what I'll say. Okay, when it comes to who caused the fall of WCW, can't we just, you know what? I'm gonna use something that RVD used to say a lot, and almost every other commentator who would go ahead and speak on RVD when it comes to, you know, when it comes to,
you mean, like, you know, nobody gets higher than Rob Van Dam? That's not what you meant?
Oh, jeez, peeps, it's 4:18. I gotta go for a few minutes. Let me not. But
there you go.
Look, when it comes to RVD, right? The one nickname that he had, I'll go ahead and refer to this question. The whole effing show. Bischoff, Russo, Turner, Hogan. Shall I continue? Peeps, shall I continue?
I think we get your point.
The executives, the whole booking team, Kevin Sullivan. God, great.
Yes.
You know what? I mean, not peeps. Yeah, but that's the answer to the first question. Just know, everybody's a key component within the fall of WCW. There's not one sole person to blame. There are so many intricate parts within the show, within the brand, within the company that caused WCW to fall. I hate when people were like, "Oh, it was all Russo's fault. Oh, it was all Bischoff. Oh, it was Hogan with the, that's not gonna work for me, brother." You know, I hate all of that, because all of them are a part of it. It wasn't just one person. Shut up when you think it's, oh, go, you know, then you have Bret Hart. It was Bill Goldberg. No, Hart, it was you too.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's a part of this. I'm not gonna name one. It's all of them. It's all of them. And when it comes to AEW following a similar trajectory, now let me say this. AEW hasn't even scratched the precipice of what WCW was, okay? WCW was a crap hole once it hit 2000, okay? That's just keeping it a $150 with you. When it comes to AEW, last time I checked, peeps, they're literally about 43 more weeks in before they survive more longer than WCW did. Now, what does that tell you? And it doesn't look like they're stopping. I see that they're going to continue from now on. They're going to continue. There's no lies with this. When it comes to similar trajectories, the only thing that I can possibly say is similar is the hokey booking. That's probably the only thing that I can possibly say. But when it comes to a roster is flat, light years better than what WCW had in the 90s. It is completely, how can I put this? A women's division that is A1, a men's division that is filled with compelling cruiserweights. Okay? Yeah, WCW started a whole cruiserweight division after WCW did the whole thing. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you had Rey Mysterio Jr. Yeah, you had Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, you had technical wrestlers like Dean Malenko and stuff. Yeah, I get that. But, peeps, last time I checked, AEW has, let's see, Kaz Okada, king of, you know, Japan strong style. You have Will Ospreay, British strong style and high flying. Daniel Bryan Danielson, guys, I'm so sorry for you AEW fans You're completely gonna want to go ahead and crap on me for that. MJF, Adam Cole when he's not injured, Jay White, Peep. Shall I continue to go on?
Yes, there's tons of talent.
There's names upon names that I can possibly go ahead and start naming right now that are way better than, than what WCW had. What WCW had a Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, what more, Sting, I mean, yes, I get it. A lot of star power, the ex-WWF guys, I get it. Yeah, cool, whatever. When it comes to them, AEW, top of the line when it comes to rosters. So when I say following a similar trajectory, it's only just the booking. I feel that Tony Khan doesn't have his hand on the ball when it comes to booking. Certain things when it comes to the shows, when it comes to the matches, I say this all the time, because the matches are always stellar. A1, I mean, for God's sakes, peeps, in the last 5 years of AEW's inception, what have we seen with the matches? They've been great, right?
Yes, they have.
Haven't lacked at all. But when it comes to the booking, when it comes to the storytelling, what's the payoff? That's what we're always arguing here within the show.
Yes.
If you're going to tell me that, yes, this is going to happen, I want to know what the payoff is. Like right now, we're going to be walking into Forbidden Door, seeing Swerve versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World title. Peeps, we have how many weeks? What is the payoff? What are we doing with this feud? If you're just going to have the match just to have the match, I get it, cool, whatever, but then you're going to have a problem. You're going to need a probable winner. Then you're gonna tell me, okay, cool, let's not have a probable winner. Let's go ahead and move this over to All In or something. Let's move this down the line. If we're gonna move it down the line, peeps, I want a story. Compel me. Have me draw into it. Have me sit there and be like, holy crap, this is gonna be great. That's what I'm expecting. If you're not giving me that, then there's the subtle problem within that. So that's just me. That's on my end. Peeps, what are your thoughts?
I think there are parallels between AEW and WCW, but the difference is, first of all, it's time frame as far as the time in which each promotion existed. WCW competed in a time where although there was cable and there was regular over-the-air television, you didn't have anywhere near the amount of choices of entertainment distractions to kind of split the entertainment dollar and the eyeballs and attention away from the wrestling business. So you're looking at WCW, who were kind of born out of necessity based on what happened when Ted Turner said, look, we're not getting rid of our wrestling on my networks, not network, networks, and wanted to make sure that it succeeded, and was able to go and get Hogan, was able to get Randy Savage and get all of these other guys that were WWF guys, and then give the younger guys that were in the WCW roster the rub, and then have those kinds of dream matches that you probably would not have gotten back in 1994, 1995, 1996 WCW. So there are parallels in that sense. AEW is working with, I wouldn't say infinite money, but what I would say is that they have a network that they are working in conjunction with. But they're also, the person that runs everything is using his own money. Whereas Eric Bischoff was using the network's money and using the company's money, Tony Khan is using his own money. And with that being done and bringing the attention to the talent that he has, he's running a similar but different model. And I think that where the WWE today is running their model based on elaborate storytelling, that they coined that phrase sports entertainment, which I absolutely hate. But that's kind of that slot that they've been in. But now that the sports entertainment has been perfected, they improved. The only thing that we were complaining about was the booking and the actual in-ring wrestling. AEW has always had that in-ring wrestling angle that they were really strong on based on all the talent that they've had and all of the people that they've kind of hoarded from everyone else. The issue is, as you pointed out, booking. Not just who's wrestling, when in the card that they're wrestling. How many times, countless times, that I've come on this show and complained about why is the world champion wrestling in the first match after a promo that has nothing to do with the main story of what's going into a particular pay-per-view or a storybook angle of what they're trying to do. That's something that needs to be improved upon. But given the fact this is a 5-year-old company and they're basically doing this from scratch, people like Jim Cornette, who are one of the most intelligent people out there that still cares and loves the business as the model as it was, and other people that opine about what's going on and what you should do, AEW, they're not going to die on the vine per se, because I think that in Tony Khan's mind, we're too big to fail. But at the same time, he has to watch it, because you don't want to follow those same pitfalls that other companies have befallen going up against WWE. And all they need to do is be themselves, improve their own product, and then take that and let that build itself. Then work on the booking and work on what you're going to do, because what we're starting to see now, you're starting to see talent that would not have left AEW are now entertaining the idea that because they're either underutilized or they're just not happy with their position and wanting to leave the company and go elsewhere. That's something you don't want to have happen.
Of course, of course. Harrod says this. He's like, Peeps killed WCW Hollywood style.
Well, that doesn't work for me, brother.
It never does, Peeps. Leon says this. He's like, think about WWE, the secondary angles like Dom and Liv. Gable, the obnoxious teacher. Name me an angle that's intriguing in AEW.
And there you go.
I mean,
and that's literally what it is.
You know what? You have the Chris Jericho learning tree. You have timeless Tony Storm and her HLA angle with Mariah. You know what? I digress.
There you go. That's number 5. But I'm going to tell you this. Tony Storm, out of all of those side stories that they're doing, is literally one of the few angles that actually works. Whereas, you got the best friends breakup, and then you have all of that other stuff. Where's the angle with your world champion and how you're building on top of that to make that seem like the most important thing there? Now, obviously, for AEW right now, the most important storyline that they're doing is what's going on with the Elite and everything that's happening with the power-hungry young bucks and what they're doing with Tony Khan and all of that stuff. But what we're doing right now is, outside of that, your world champion is supposed to be the most important one out there. And the only saving grace that they've got right now that will get them out of the doldrums that they're in is one Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And that's all they really need right now to kind of drum up the mainstream attention and get the fans back in it. And then you start getting him in the ring and have others have matches that make sense to build on top of what he and others like him are doing.
I agree 100%. So thank you, Master Sean 007, for the first part of that question. The second part
really good question
comes from Tombstone City Adam. This one seems like it's directed to us, but also, he kind of just answered a little bit of it. I guess he finds it intriguing, but look at this. How do you guys think the Triple C feels about Liv seducing Dom, and they have yet to suspend her for such actions? LOL.
That's funny.
So as we await, most likely, the Phenom's answer to that question, Peeps, what are your thoughts about the whole Dom and Liv storyline so far?
I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I have. And they've put just enough bluster on the outside to make you intrigued, because we know the main reason why this is happening is because Rhea Ripley's hurt. They need to have another angle within there to kind of keep the Judgment Day interest on, especially with Dom, who's hurt also. Now, you've got that intrigue, and we know that the WWE is very good at doing these like love triangle kind of thing. Listen to us talking like we're watching a male soap opera, but this is literally what the WWE has done. It's literally a male soap opera with some wrestling involved. Mm-hmm. And what they're doing right now is they're keeping Liv at the top of the card, like lower to upper mid card main event, because she's champion right now, to give her place at the top to see where she goes with it while Rhea is recovering. And she's running with it because it works. And the intrigue is what's going to happen with Dom. Is Dom cheating on Rhea? Is Rhea going to be upset with Dom? Is she going to get revenge with Liv? Tune in next week, folks, as the sands go into the hourglass. Those are the days of our lives. I'm just waiting for Stefano Demira and anyone else to show up. But, I digress. I'll back away from that.
Put this on General Hospital, and all Sonny Corinthos has to do is just shoot live. You know what? I digress. Anywho, the Phenom answered his question. He says, "Can any woman blame the greatest North American champion? Greatest North American champion of all time. He's the true sexy boy. What a champion!"
Yeah.
That's the Phenom for you. That's the Triple C for you. Good grief. She should not be suspended. This is WWE.
Yes.
In what form? Are we talking about Vince era WWE? Are we talking about Kurt?
Oh boy, this wouldn't be the case. If we were talking Vince, if this was Vince era WWE, we would probably be talking about so many different other things that have nothing to do with wrestling. But since we're talking about today's Triple H's WWE, Nick Khan's WWE, Endeavor's WWE.
Yes.
This works. And the other thing that I really love about watching Raw and watching SmackDown and NXT is the improvement of the production values that they've been using. The camera angles, the sweeping cameras, like the Michael Bay camera sweeps from one spot where it rotates around one area. You have the far away pan where you have the wrestlers in the ring, but it's a far shot. But it's not a close-up, but it stays right there. And then they have the newer camera angle above the ring. So you can kind of see where the pacing and all of that is, where you get the drama of what's going on. But at the same time, you get to see everything. And you get to see some of the fans within that. Yeah. That's something that Kevin Dunn should have taken notes on. But hey, you're going to get another I digress from me. So you got number 8.
8?
Yes, you're at 8 already.
Damn it, peeps.
I'm out for a week. We got 8 I digresses already.
We doubled the number from last week. See, this is what shows that we missed the peep stage.
There we go.
Well, look, that marks the end of the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Great questions. We appreciate you guys. You guys want to send in more? All you got to do is one thing and one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons _main event. Send in a question. It will be on the next episode of the show.
Yes.
That being said, we have gotten to the final part of our show today, and that is our predictions. Our predictions for tomorrow night's NXT Battleground.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, emanating from the UFC Apex in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, home of WrestleMania 41 next year.
Yeah.
Peeps, we're looking at a good show. We're supposed to be having the crowning of a new women's North American champion.
Yes.
We're going to see Shayna Baszler get knocked out by Lola Vice in a set. Yeah, I already predicted my winner for that match. I know. Insane that I'm rooting against Shayna Baszler. I know, guys.
Yeah.
But there's so much. And there's even one name that we haven't even gotten to with you yet. So we're gonna go ahead and diverge into that. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get to the matches. The first one with our prediction for today is the ladder match for the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion. Sol Ruka, Lash Legend, Fallon Henry, Jada Park, oh my God,
yes,
Michin, and Kalani Jordan.
Yes,
Babes, the melanin in this match makes me feel like Booker T seeing Sexy Red on Tuesday night NXT.
Yes.
Grief.
Can you dig that?
Sucker! But, jokes aside and stuff. Peace.
Yes.
Pencil me in. I got Jada Parker winning this.
You got Jada. For whatever reason, I don't know why, I have a feeling that this is going to Lash Legend. Really? I think that the reason why, I think they still kind of sort of, they've done a lot between her and also with Fallon Henley, where they're trying to show that there are the personalities that they've been showing works. Sol Ruka and that insane inverted cutter that she does, what she calls the soul snatcher, which is, it's like, how does it work where she goes up the rope, she does an inverted front flip and then comes down with a cutter and she's coming down. It is insane.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yes. Michin, I would like to see her win a championship. I don't think it's going to happen. And I think Kalani Jordan is probably about 6 months away from really being good. So I don't see that happening. Jada Parker, if you would have stated that was the case, I could understand it. But I think it's Lash Legend right now. I think that the fact that they gave her a women's championship match when the women's championship was there after I believe one of the champion had gotten hurt up the time, and they gave her a title match instead as a replacement, showed me something then. So I think that you can go ahead and say, you know what, that works. I think Lash can go ahead and win this.
I got you. Hot Rod says this. He's like, damn, this is an orgy match. Please pass me the lotion. Hot Rod, really? But Afino says, I agree with Nate. Something about her. Lash has the it factor. I mean, you know
exactly.
what? Okay. So, I mean, you know what? That was a close second for me. I'm still hoping that it would be Jada Parker because, I mean, you know, OTM, yeah, those my guys. They not really winning any gold. Jada Parker, though, she has that, you know, that sense. I mean, let's be honest here, peeps. Jada Parker has literally risen ratings within the hour time spans on NXT.
True.
If that's not giving the face of the current women's division right now on NXT, I don't know what is. So for me, that's why I'm sitting there like, if you're giving me like the close second behind Roxanne Perez, I'm gonna have to say Jada Parker. That's just me. So that's what I'm kind of saying. You know, if you want a face to go ahead and hold that Women's North American Championship and have it be the inaugural champion, that's give me Jada. I'm not mad at Lash either. You know, still at the end of the day, both of them are great. You know, as I said, I'll still be a Jada. So I guess this time, me and Peeps are kind of divergent within our predictions.
There you go.
It's okay. It happens, guys. It happens.
Yes.
But from that, we move to the next match. Oba Femi.
Ooh.
Listen. My Oba Feminists rise.
Ooh. Yes.
Just rise. Versus Wesley versus Joe Coffey. Triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship.
Yes. It's amazing.
As much as Cody has grown on me, and as much as I love Wesley, this is hard to say. I still think Oba goes ahead and, you know, like reclaims his title. Yeah.
I personally think that I think Oba's winning this match. I think Wesley, even though he's coming back, and they've done a great job with Joe Coffey, him coming back as well. I think right now, Oba has, when he first won the championship, everybody thought it was, well, it's a transitional championship. Let's see what he does while we build him up. And all he has done has literally eaten everybody in front of him.
Seek and destroy.
He has literally turned himself into a missile through everybody in front of him. And I think the best thing to do right now is the best title change is the one that doesn't get made. And I think right now, Oba is the one right now that you're going to build around with that championship. And dare I say it, they could do what they did with Walter and the Intercontinental Championship if they continue to build this guy like this.
Oh, well. Okay, so Oba Femi we got. Okay, say no more. Okay, from there, NXT Underground match. Lola Vice, Shayna Baszler. Of course, as I said, Lola Vice. Give me, you know, as much as I love Shayna, you know, that's the Queen of Spades. You know, for me, that will forever be, you know, my face of black and gold NXT.
Yes.
Just a rowdy Shayna Baszler pre-WrestleMania 36. I digress.
Yeah.
What are they doing to my girl, Pigs?
I know.
Anywho, Lola Vice, she's doing great on NXT.
Yes.
She's been doing great, amazing work. I mean, for God's sakes, and she's a professional fighter. Babes, I'm just saying, Lola Vice.
Yes.
In the words of our most likely probable future president, this is not political, guys. She's gonna be huge. So give me Lola Vice here.
Yes, and then it's funny. After she knocks you out, she does that little salsa dance at the end. Oh man!
Way to rub it in my face. In the words of Dolph Ziggler, it should have been me.
He's like, whoa, cowboy, whoa.
You got too much dip on your chip. In the words of R-Truth, I don't even know if that's PG.
There you go.
There you go. But we got Lola Vice. That makes sense. Next match, singles match, NXT Women's Championship. Peeps, Roxanne or Jordynne Grace? I think this is easy to say, right? Roxanne Perez it is. Jordan, thanks for coming. You're going to be great when you come onto the main roster and when you show up to WWE. Probably when your TNA contract is up. But as for now, I sit there and I think, look, Roxanne, all she want to do is beat ass. So, I mean, at the end of the day, give me Roxanne Perez.
It's funny, I put in Roxy by force of habit. I just put Roxy. I forgot that. Wait a minute, it's Roxanne Perez now. It's not Roxy anymore.
TNA days, peeps. I get it.
Yes, but yeah, it is. Right now, they're building Roxanne Perez as the star of the women's division, and if this is going to be the jumping off point for this proposed, what we assume is going to be a TNA, WWE, NXT style of invasion, I don't think that Jordynne Grace winning is going to win the championship. Somehow, something will come about this, and she'll say, well, I got screwed. Something happened. This is politics, whatever. I can see that happening. So going forward, this will be, I think, the start of that. And they can use that. They can use the fact that she was in the Women's Royal Rumble and then leverage that in to say, I knew I wasn't going to get a fair shake coming here, and this is the reason why I got to do what I have to do. Yeah, I can see that.
Got you. Phenom says this, I think we will have a new NXT Women's Champion. Think about it, the WWE title and another promotion. You know what? This wouldn't be bad in the sense that if it were to happen, isn't Slammiversary coming up, peeps?
You know what? You're absolutely right.
If Slammiversary is coming up, and it's isn't it the 20th anniversary of TNA?
Yes, I believe so.
Peeps! Roxy going back to old stomping grounds to reclaim her title from the Knox Out champion. You can't write it any better. If you're going to do that, I like it. But it honestly all depends on what direction the company wants to go with that.
Yes. And how they want to book this collaboration, so to speak, this forbidden door relationship that they have with each other, because it will benefit both. You're going to have more people already looking at WWE, so that's not even the issue.
Yo, the pay-per-view buy rate for Slammiversary, that thing's going to be great.
Yes.
That will be amazing for the company. I can see it already. Buy rates are going to shoot up. But the thing, there's a lot of WWE fans are going to be sitting there like, I paid $10 a month for Peacock. This is my first time paying for a pay-per-view since 2013. Yes. What the heck?
Think about that. When was the last time you actually heard somebody say that they ordered a TNA pay-per-view? Think about that.
Peeps, I still watch it though.
We still watch, but we have it. Yeah.
I digress. Yeah. Good grief. We're criminals.
I know not what you speak.
In the words of Randy Orton, we're the common criminal. Okay. That's what we are.
Oh boy, what is a criminal?
What is a criminal, right?
Yeah. Sounds like a new Transformer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday afternoon's main event brought to you by Peeps Nage.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. From there, okay, so I guess we got Roxanne penciled in ourselves.
Yes.
Probably we see a shocker tonight, and it actually stretches out to be the story that we just previously talked about. But still, in a sense, we'll keep Roxanne penciled in. The criminal's the same. Yeah, listen, put that on the T.
There you go.
But next match, tag team match for the NXT tag titles. Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC. Peeps, do I have to say this? Do I really have to go? You're already penciling in my thought process on this, so I don't even have to go ahead and say anything.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think based on what's going on, I would not be surprised if, especially what they're trying to do with AJ. Michin hasn't done anything yet, but based on what they're doing, I have a feeling that the OC is winning this championship. I just have a feeling that that's where they're going with this.
Pencil me in, peeps. Thank you. See, I don't even have to say it. This is what I'm telling you when I tell you guys, this guy right here is my comrade, my
There
brother
you
from
go.
another mother and dimension. That's what I'm telling y'all.
Yes.
He knows my thoughts. That is amazing. Thank you, peeps.
Yes. There you go.
Okay, from there, we only have one match and one match only, peeps.
Yes.
Singles match for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams versus All Ego. You know how weird it is to say this right now, peeps?
Yes.
Like, yo. Okay, before we even get into this match, peeps, I just want to know your thoughts about having Ethan Page in NXT. Like,
Yeah. It is odd that it has, as Marv Albert used to always say, it has now come to this.
mm-hmm.
I tell you right now, I love the fact that they brought him in and featured him prominently. Because really, if I'm not mistaken, the last big match that Ethan Page had was against Kenny Omega, if I'm not mistaken. When they were in camp, before Omega took the time off because of the injuries and everything that he had. Ethan Page has not really been prominently shown in AEW for quite some time. And if you think about it, the reasoning behind all of this is now that he is going to get that opportunity to show you what he can. MMA guy, very good pro wrestler, can cut really good promos. And of course, you're going to stick him in the ring with Trick Williams, who is still is way over. We already know that. He's going to continue to improve. And I think that this is the infusion of blood that they needed to get in at the top of the card to shake everything up, because there was no definitive explanation as to who was beating up everybody in the locker room and everything else. And then they kind of retconned it, and as you know what, everybody that got beat up before, that was all me. All Ego, Ethan Page. That works. Let's see where they go from there. If this is a one-off as far as the only title shot he's going to get, and they worked it in as his first match on the card is going against the NXT champion, and Trick is able to beat him, that gives extra credibility, but it also can then lengthen the program because Page can then do something afterwards.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, peeps, I guess from what you're saying that Trick Williams goes ahead and wins this match.
Yeah, somehow I think Trick is going to win. How? I don't know, but he's going to win. Will he do it? Would he catch him with the trick shot? I'm pretty sure he probably will.
Most likely, yeah. Okay, so
yes.
Trick Williams is whooping that Trick to retain the NXT Championship. Okay, so we're both on the same page here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to find out if our predictions go ahead and reign true. That is only if you watch NXT Battleground tomorrow on Peacock. I believe 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right?
Yes, 8 o'clock, yes.
All right, then, peeps. So look, with that being said, that marks the end of our predictions. And ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of Saturday afternoon's main event. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing show. We appreciate you guys for going ahead and coming on, listening to us. I digress. Listening to us give our 2 cents in our predictions. We appreciate all the love and support. It was a ball having you guys here to go ahead and listen to us speak. But look, next week, same time, this doesn't change. We have about 4 episodes left until the end of season 7, and then we'll go on a good 2 weeks hiatus so that peeps can go ahead and stuff himself with more mac and cheese and me to refill on more I digresses. Because
there you
without
go.
those, we can't go ahead and work well, guys. We really can't. But it is because it is here on Same that I, the Phenomenal One,
and I, the Peeps Nate, well, of course, we came.
We saw.
And in the words of the great Paul Heyman, we conquered.
We conquered, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week for episode 17. It's a Phenomenal One here on this Right as the Peeps Nate. Remember, we came, we saw, we conquered. Peace, love, farewell.